All right, we're going to bring this out and split it. Man, I get close to that every time. Pretty happy about that. Okay, so the next trick is we're going to start adding in the colors. So first things first, we're going to pop in some blue. Then we're going to grab some amber purple. What's up, Dragonfly? How are you? How you doing anyway? I got to say, your work is getting actually pretty phenomenal. It's looking really, really good. Amber purple. I am back, Laura. What's up? How you doing? Nat, what's going on? How are you doing? Right, we're going to add lots of amber purple here. J-Dub, what's up? How you doing? How's it going tonight? So we're adding in lots of amber purple here. God, I love this color. Okay, a little bit more. About like that. So this is going to be a heart pendant. We are making the heart pendant. This is the one that has the hole through it, right in the middle. What's up, Red Squeak? How you doing? Good to see everyone back. Sent me a message for a Christmas mushroom. Well, where'd you send it? To the website, Etsy? It might have dropped in my spam folder. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. That's what I'm asking. Okay, so we're going to drop it in here. That wasn't good. It went in my white Frit there. Puppers is doing good. Fritz is always doing good. He's a little wild child, but yeah, he's doing good. Website? Okay, I'll check spam folder. We'll definitely check that out. Oops. Bring this in this way. Anyway, how the heck is everybody doing? I'm glad y'all came back and stayed on for a little bit. What's up, Myra? How you doing? So we are doing a little heart pendant here. So we got cobalt, amber, purple, cobalt. We got to do a little bit of a fold here. Like that. This one's a unique style for it. Like that. It's a very weird combination of how you do this, but it comes out really good if you do it right. Well, the email is starrynightglass@gmail.com. Which mushroom was it that you were referring to? Weather in Washington's cold. Yes, hummingbirds have gone out to people that sent me addresses. I don't know who got what because, like I said, I sent them out at random. I don't remember which one that was. All right, here we go. So we're going to flatten this. Wait, which way do I want to go? Hold on one second. I got to get this right. I think I want right there. There we go. So we're making a heart pendant. I like this one a lot because it doesn't have any hooks in it. And to me, that is the most impressive, cool part about it. I don't like it. I don't like separate hooks. Because it's always a point of where it could fail. We got a bunch of snow this weekend. Oh, you did? What's up, Matt? You got snow? You gonna go snowboarding? And then we're gonna come through, and we're gonna add the amber purple to the mix here. Actually, I need to add some blue in here. One second. All right, let's get this done. Okay, and a little bit more amber purple, and we should be good to go. Just got to get enough of that color blended on there. Now we're good. You love snow? Yeah, I like snow too. I think there's nothing wrong with snow. Moderation in some respects. Yeah, I like snow. All right, so let's flatten this out. So this is going to be a full-blown heart pendant. It has some really cool color combinations to it. It's going to be hard to see right now, but you can see all those colors are swirling around in there. What did it look like without shades? What color eyes do you have? No, it's not creepy, but I can tell you they're blue-green. But I won't take the shades off while I'm working because it's dangerous to do so. All right, so we're going to cut this. Like that. We just slice and dice it. What's my opinion on diners, drive-ins, and dives? I don't know. It's a cool show. Am I Jack Black? Nope, I'm Denzel. It's just an amazing filter. All right, let's get this heart done. Now you can see we got that heart shape started here. We definitely have to refine it, make it look a lot better. Get it all blended in. You thought I was Guy Fieri? Yeah. Yeah, I mostly look like Denzel. Yeah. You can definitely see the resemblance. All right, so this is the cool part. This is why I love this pendant, because we're going to drop a basically a hole through the heart, and that's going to be where it hangs from. We got to use this little tool to do it. I just have to make sure I place it correctly. You just wiggle it back and forth, and it punches it all the way through. It's going to be small right now to see it, but there's a little tiny hole there. We're going to open it up manually now, just slowly but surely. And then again, this is where the actual chain or hook or whatever you want to hang it from will go through. Need a little beeswax on my tool here. Love beeswax. Good. All right. Did you get pretty well caught up on Christmas? Yeah, pretty much. I still have orders coming in left and right, but you know, I also let people know that it's getting to the point where I may not be able to, you know, get it out in time with the post office. You know, that I'm at the post office's mercy right now. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to kind of form it into the little heart shape, the rest of it, and this one will be done. And then we're going to make a paw print, and then back to Christmas ornaments. Let's see, Suzanne, what's up, Bayo? How are you? Stuff's doing good. All right, we're going to pull this down and out a little bit. So the main thing on this, I don't like making the traditional heart shape. In fact, I really dislike it. I kind of like to have a little character to them. Like not something you would see every day. So we pull it a little bit with a kind of like a little pointy tail coming off the side. That one's too big right now. We're going to shrink it down a little bit. Just a little bit of a curve at the end. There we go. I like that. So I'm going to show it to you this way. So I always like having that little bit of a little, you know, kind of like a little swerve to it. Now the colors aren't showing up on the camera because the camera has a hard time with it. Ready for the reveal? Here we go. Now you can see all the colors bouncing through. See that? So that's the reveal right there. Isn't that beautiful? I think those colors look amazing. I could make spoons, but I won't. Yeah, this is like such an awesome design. Okay, we're going to bring it in and trim that off. But yeah, so it looks really awesome when it's all and you can see a little bit of the color bouncing through there. But yeah, it just hangs right through that little hole right there. No hooks, no external things to get damaged. All right, now we got to do a little paw print. This is going to be an interesting piece. Let me get rid of this tool and the scissors real quick. Trying to keep my bench semi-clean. Does it ever hurt my eyes? No. Let me show you what I see. And this is why I have the chat engaged the way I do, is because I like answering questions about the process. So as you can see, the flame is extremely bright right there. I would have a hard time seeing all the time with that. But when you drop the filter in now, it changes the whole thing. So that's how I can see and my eyes don't get all stressed out. Versus that. So that's the lenses that are in my meta glasses are that material right there called dididium. But thank you for asking the question. I appreciate it because I do like answering questions on glass. I think it's important to be able to explain what's going on and how it's going on and the purpose behind certain things. Thank you, Bale. Yeah, I just think it's important to be able to explain the process. I'm not here to teach you how to make the glass. I'm here to show you how it's done. There's a big distinction between the two. All right, let's pull this little bit of scrap glass off here, and then we're going to make a paw print. This is just a paw print ornament that is going out. It is no ashes or anything in it. Let me grab. I don't know which one of these I want to use. Probably this one. So we got to get this started out with a little bit of clear. Then we're going to add some accent colors. And then we're going to add 3 colors to this one total. I don't know if that was glass or a bug, but I threw it out of the Frit. No, the heat does not travel down to your hands. So glass is an absolute awful conductor. It's a good insulator, awful conductor. So glass will not heat up all the way down. That's why it's good for cookware and all that stuff too. Can you make glow-in-the-dark ornament like that? I sure can. All right, we're rolling this into some Frit. I'm going to have to grab my drill. We're going to drill mix it up a little bit. No, not burning at all. You want to see something amazing? That's how close you can get to the flame. Look, my finger is literally 2 centimeters away from that flame, 4,000 degrees. Now, either I'm superhuman or this torch is awesome. And same thing with the glass. I do make things with ashes, yes. I for sure do. You will find that at my website, Starry Night Glass. Has anyone ever said I look like Guy Fieri? No, nobody's ever told me that. No, really? I'm kidding. Yeah, I know Guy looks exactly like me, and it's okay. I'll let him. A little bit of this ambery color on here. So we're making a paw print ornament. So the pop, before we get stamped, you can see the paw print is located in this little carbon plate. I just got carbon all over me. Oxygen and propane. Do I know any good jokes? Of course. Actually, I've got a really fun thing for you all to try. Where's my drill? Here's something for you all to try at home. Try saying Irish wristwatch 3 times very fast. I can't even say it once. Irish wristwatch. All right, let's mix this up. Gonna add a little bit more of that white in there. And bring it in. Why did it makes the glass? Well, whenever you have something that gets heated and cooled, heated, cooled, heated, cooled, heated, cooled, it creates a lot of stress on it. So that's why pieces crack and break. Because every time you heat it, cool it, heat it, cool it, heat it, cool it, it will stress a glass out. 100% all the time, every time, won't fail, every time. It always will stress the glass out. Okay, so we got the base of this done, and we're going to add in, there it is, that's what I'm looking for. We're going to add in the colors for the paw print now. For why did I use the drill? Because I wanted to mix 2 colors up together, and in order for me to do that very quickly, the drill can spin a lot faster than I can spin my hands. So I used the drill to make it easy. Work harder, not smarter. Right? Work harder, not smarter. That's the dyslexic version. Work harder, not smarter. Dude is literally taking years off his life. How do you figure so? Explain yourself. If you're going to make a statement, back it up. So I can retort appropriately. All right, we got to trim this off here. This is the hard part right here. Gas is price today. Yeah, I don't know about gas prices. They don't affect me. I don't have to leave home. I can work right from here. Not everybody's doing good. Thank you. Yeah, we're all doing good. The world is a happy place. Okay, so we're going to come through and trim this off here and start getting it ready to go into the mold. So the 2 colors that are going to be really hard to get in here are the pomegranate and the caramel. The black will always show up really well. So we're going to heat this up. We're going to start over here, just kind of getting it rounded out a little bit. Yeah, I definitely call out trolls. I rate trolls. Some people don't even like score a 0 on the scale. Yeah, you definitely need to be quick. We're making a little paw print ornament. So right now I'm just getting the base color on, and we're going to add the accent colors. And then we're going to put it in the mold and make it look really amazing. You're a respiratory therapist. I couldn't tell you the overwhelming amount of individuals I get in, mainly smokers and glassblowers. Well, because you're dealing with glassblowers that don't know what the hell they're doing. So I'm glad you're a therapist, but you will never see me. I've been doing this 31 years, and I get checked every single year. Not only do I go get checked for lungs, but I also go get checked for heavy metals in my blood. So thank you for sharing, but you don't know me. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to trim all this off. Then we're going to start adding the color. My country, that is called, what is it? Viditra? I can't say that, but what country is that? It looks Italian? You're not supposed to breathe hot glass. Who says I'm breathing hot glass? Are you really a registered therapist, or are you just trolling that you pretend to be? There you go. Yeah, we're making the paw print. Mexico. Okay. I like Mexico. Mexico has some amazing glass blowers. They definitely do. Phenomenal, phenomenal glass blowers in Mexico. No, I don't do any bigger stuff anymore. I keep it pretty small. You know, there's a limitation as to how much you want to go if you want to keep your career. Okay, let's grab the caramel. Yeah, there's definitely limits as to how much you can push your body weight-wise on joints. Then you have to just make a decision. You can either keep making large pieces or you can scale down and extend your career. Can't have both, though. Okay, let's go. So this is the butterscotch or caramel color. We're just kind of blending it in here. Okay. Next color is going to be black. Now this one is a strong, overpowering color. Nope, that's blue. There's black. All right, here we go. Next step is we're going to add the black in here. Like that. Think of this as like finger painting with molten glass. It's exactly the same process. It is literally finger painting with molten glass. Okay, then we're going to grab some red. You went to Murano? Yeah, me too. I've been there. I love Murano. They gave us a lot of back tours, like into private areas that nobody really gets to go in some of the factories. You know, that was a cool experience. We're going to add a little bit of this here, a bit of there, a bit there. All right, next step, we got to encase the whole thing in clear. So we're going to bring it over here and just kind of mellow it out. Nice and gentle. I'm going to try and show you what it looks like in the hot shot. You can see all those colors swirling around. It comes and goes very fast, but you can kind of see where all the colors are swirling in there. That looks good. Let's add the clear coat and call this one done pretty soon here. What my favorite, best work I've done? I've got a couple swords here that I'm very happy about. My chandeliers. I got a couple pieces around here that are pretty neat. But mostly, you know, I make weird stuff. The swords are absolutely some of my favorite. Blown glass swords. All right, so we got to clear cap this. So if you want to see the sword after I'm done with this, stick around for a few minutes. And if you want to see the swords, just type 1 in the chat. The one's a 4-foot sword. The other, it's not a sword, it's a dagger. It's like 19 inches. It's not quite a sword. I'd call it a dagger. Pirate dagger. I even have a self-portrait of myself that I did. I don't know if we'll bring that out, but I do have a self-portrait of myself made out of glass. A little bit more here for this clear cap, and then we're going to punch it in the mold. We're not too far off. All right, that's a lot of ones. We've got it. I'll bring the swords out. Yeah, we'll bring it out. Not a problem. I need to set this down someplace cool. There we go. Look, we almost got an octopus. Yeah, give me a minute, and then we'll bring the swords out. You want to see the portrait? Okay, type 2 in the chat if you want to see portrait. So if you want to see the portrait first, type 2 in the chat. If you want to see swords, type 1. That way I know which way to go. So, all right. Now we just have to let this clear, envelop its way down. Oh, wow, we got a lot of 2s. Really? Okay. Self-portrait? Okay. All right, let me get this finished up, and we'll do the self-portrait. Yeah, we could do that for sure. I got you. We'll do the self-portrait, and then we'll bust out the swords, the weaponry. I'm almost done here. So I will show you, though, what my filter on my glasses looks like. So see how bright that is? So this filter is what's in my lenses. And as you can see here, it totally changes the perspective of what you see. Like that. Okay, so let's bring this over to the mold and stamp it. I got to admit, that's a little satisfying doing that every time. That never gets old. And I'll show you what the paw print looks like. I'll try and get it hot enough so you can see it. It's going to go quick. Ah, dang it, missed it. Hold on one second. I'll get it again. There's the paw print. All right, we just got to balance this out. So I'm about 1 or 2 minutes out from being able to show you the items. I'm sorry, it's probably taken a few seconds longer than you anticipated, but we'll get there. I just have to finish this off. That's uranium glass. Oh well. We're going to bring the flame down, control it a little bit. Then we just have to flatten. Then it's all good. Wow, this came out beautiful. It actually looks really good. All right, let me just flatten this out. We'll move it over to the kiln, and I'll grab the self-portrait first, and then we'll do the swords. Just a little bit more here. All right, we're good. I just have to flatten. We'll pull it off, smooth out that attachment, and then that's done. Yeah, it looks good. All right, grab my little tool here. My makeshift salad tongs. Makeshift salad tongs. All right, you guys ready for the self-portrait? Let me put this in there. We'll grab that one first, and then we'll grab the swords. It's hot. Okay, so the self-portrait was, it's an image of me when I was younger, so it might be hard to recognize me. You'll see some features that look pretty much the same, but it should be me. All right, ready? There we go. This is my self-portrait. Look at can you see the resemblance? In fact, I was a lot skinnier, but yeah. There's my self-portrait. See? Got the spiky hair and everything on there. I think it's pretty accurate. I was a lot faster and I had a good sense of direction back then. So sorry, my sense of humor can be a little bit off-putting sometimes. But on a more serious note, we'll go into the sword. Now the swords are too good to be true. This is the dagger. So this is one of my favorite pieces. We are going to redo another one at some point here. But this is the dragon dagger. So this one's 19 inches, and it has the dragon head at the end. And this one's unique because it has a frosty side. So if you don't want it shiny, and then it does have the shiny side there. Now my next project, when I go to redo this, I'm gonna make another one. We're not gonna have the claws on the side. I'm gonna pull wings. I'm gonna pull some wings off the side, and then we're gonna do the dragon spine on the back. So that's gonna be my next project. Won't be till after the first of the year. But yeah, we're gonna pull wings off and then a dragon spine. But that is the dragon dagger. Like I said, it's more of a dagger. And then I'll grab the actual sword, which is behind me. And here we go. Ah, there we go. Damn it. So I do have to sit way farther back for this because it is full size. Like I said, it's 49 inches. It is hard to fit in the camera. I can't get it. I've not figured out a way to put this whole thing in the camera yet. But that's it. I can bring the hilt over so you can see it. Everything is solid, except for this is a little air pocket in this section right here. But everything else is solid with it. I like this part. I love the twisties. I don't know if I'll make anything this big again. But yeah, this is one of my favorite right here. Don't want to stab that. Oh, there we go. I'm about to bring it over. There. I used to have that hanging up behind me, and I was streaming on TikTok all the time, a lot, and they made me take it down. They said it was a weapon. I was like a little annoyed at that, but whatever. They said that was a weapon. So I had to take it down. Okay, let's get on to production. I got to make a snowman head. Thank you for the subs. I appreciate all the subs. I'm not on Instagram full bore yet. I'm still working on it. Although with the meta glasses, I can stream to Instagram through the glasses. That might be kind of cool, actually. Because they'll allow you to stream through the meta glasses unlimited time on Instagram and Facebook. The frosty side of the dragon dagger was sandblasted, and then after you sandblast it, you go through and you fume it with gold. So you have to sandblast it, then heat it back up and color it again. I know, that's what I'm saying. You could do all that stuff, but they made me take my YouTube hasn't done that. It was TikTok that made me do it. They threatened to ban my account if I left them up. So I got to figure out a way to put them up there without anything, but whatever. Artistry. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have a lot of fun. My happy spot is making things that you don't see every day. The dagger is not heavy at all. The sword is, I would say, probably 5 pounds. I have not weighed it. I've never weighed it. I probably should, because that question gets answered a lot. But like, if you go on my shorts reels, you'll see this hammer actually being used on my roofing with roofing nails. So this hammer was actually used on my shorts feet. And then I got to get to work. This is something that was just kind of a pet project. I kind of like microphones. So I wanted to make an old school like microphone sculpture. And it's just classy. I didn't want to get super detailed, but it comes out. Originally I was going to give it to someone, but they ended up being someone I didn't want to give it to after a while. All right, so let's get to making the snowman head. But yeah, I like making things that are not usually out there. Michael, thank you so much for the jewels. Yeah, I was thinking an award piece would be kind of cool. Yeah. Like a carburetor? Like for a car carburetor? That would be interesting. But yeah, I just like making weird stuff. Along with traditional. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm rolling this into something called Frit, F-R-I-T. And the Frit is basically a ground up glass about the size of sea salt. And what I do from there is I roll it on, and it allows me to coat it, but not all the way. It still leaves clear gaps in there, so it remains glass, but with a frosty on it. Thank you so much for the jewels. I'm going to say it's Andre. Yeah, we definitely do a lot of Christmas ornaments. After Christmas, we'll be tapering and moving on to other things. I got a lot of stuff planned for this year. It's going to be a fun adventure. We're definitely going to be doing some cool stuff this year. Oddball, things you've never seen done before. Yeah, we're going down that path. Might even be a lightsaber in the future. Lightsaber-ish. That glows in the dark. We'll have to see. I got a few things lined up. All right, so we're shrinking this down. We're going to blow it open a little. Oh, too narrow. Okay. So now we got that all set up. And we're going to start forming the snowman head. I'm just jamming out Christmas ornaments right now because I have so many orders to get done. Why does Guy Fieri look like me? I don't know. He does, but that's okay. It's cool. Doesn't bother me a bit. Anything else being added to the mystery boxes? What do you mean? Anything else? Are there more? Or like, will mystery boxes be different later? Yes. If you're asking if mystery boxes change up over time, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to burn that off. So we got this little section. I need to do the Santa hat version. Okay. So this version's going to have the Santa hat on it. There we go. I don't wear gloves because I don't want to. Glass doesn't transfer heat like metal. It'd be like trying to type on a keyboard with gloves. Not very easy, right? Same thing. In fact, I would guarantee typing on your keyboard is probably worse than what I'm doing with all the germs. I can guarantee you not a single germ lives through this flame. About as sterile as anything could get. All right, so next step is we're going to be building the little Santa hat here. Ooh, it's looking good. And now we're going to be using red. This particular red goes very transparent. It will come back to red later, but you can see it's very red there. When I go to apply it, it's going to go clear. I love my job. This is 31 years. Next month, it'll be 32. Next month is 32 years. Can you believe that? What an awesome career for that long. Glass swords are not for sale right now. I don't know if the big one I may never reproduce. The smaller dagger size, I might do a few next year, not this year. All right, so we got to make the Santa hat here. A little bit more. Right about there. And then we're going to pull it into the Santa hat. So we're going to bring it down. Going to loop and swoop. Like that. Loop and swoop. And we got to put the pom-pom on. We're going to be doing a lot of glow-in-the-dark glass this year, too. So I created a glow-in-the-dark glass about 20 years ago. And it's a pretty awesome, medium. And we could do a lot of cool stuff with it. So we're going to be incorporating a whole lot of things with it. This is a version of the glow-in-the-dark glass right there, that pen. And it'll glow under black light, but it'll also glow in the dark. So you can see, let me bring it back here. There. So it'll glow that turquoisey color in the dark. All right, let's put the snowman nose on. Yeah, definitely glow in the dark. We're doing a lot of that this year. Thanks for sharing. No, thank you for being a part of it. Don't thank me for sharing this. I thank you for being here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, even the trolls. Because honestly, my studio's empty right now. There's nobody here. It's very lonely. So I get to hang out with all of you, and I think that's a privilege, even the trolls. So, yeah, it keeps my mental health very, very stable. Be able to get out here and live stream and talk to people. It's very healthy for me. Oh, I mess up all the time. Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely mess up. I am not immune to it. Anybody that says they don't mess up is lying their butt off. I can promise you they're lying. Liar, liar, pants on fire, right? Here we go. We got to put some eyeballs on here. All right, here we go. Got to put a little mouth on here. Now, eventually, this little hat will turn red. But for right now, it's just going to stay in the semi-red phase. What happens is, as it sits in the kiln, it gets redder and redder. The color comes to life when it soaks in the kiln. It needs about 1,050 degrees to kind of regenerate its color. But yeah, there's a little happy guy. Move that out of the way. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? All right. I got to do a pickle. I forgot I had a pickle. All right. We got to make the Christmas pickle. Are you heading out? How about that? Pickle's a pretty basic, easy piece to do, too. You got your two grab bags? I have no idea what anybody got, but I'm glad you're happy with them. Like I said, the grab bags, Stephanie and I do it a certain way. One of us packs all the boxes and the other just goes and puts labels on. So there's no possibility of anybody knowing who gets what. It's the fairest way to do it. Okay, so we got that. Let's attach a little punty there. I thought I had a little uranium here. I do. I should have enough to get through it. So this is uranium glass. And we're going to use it to enhance the pickle. So uranium glass glows bright green under black light. So if you look here at that little stick right there, you'll see it going super bright green. So that's what I use for the little pickle dots. Kind of give it a secret little accent. Nobody expects it. Cool as a cucumber? I wish. I don't know if I'm that cool. I'm just a guy that loves melting glass, right? Uranium is toxic in certain levels, yeah. Okay, we're going to grab it here. All right. So first things first, we have to grab this and we're going to shape it. There. Doesn't require a lot of shaping. You don't want to make it into a crescent moon, just a little bend to it. Then we're going to seal it off here, give it a small bend. There we are. We're looking good. So right there where it's super hot, I just thickened it up a little. So when I go to bend this, it doesn't like flop all over the place. And here we go. So we're going to bring it, just let it kind of droop a little gherkin. And you got to push a little air in it. It does flatten out a little. So on that bend, it kind of flattens. Ready for more windstorms? Oh, no, I don't want any more wind. I'm done with wind. I'm definitely done with wind. Okay, let's put the pickles on. Pickle dots. And here we go. And again, this is the uranium glass, so it will have little glowy dots on it. Kind of like a little surprise when you get it, if you hit it with a black light. Otherwise, you wouldn't really be able to tell. See if I missed any gigantic spots up. One right there. Okay, that's good. And instead of adding hooks to it this year, I just kind of pop holes out to the side. Makes it a heck of a lot easier to hang and a lot more durable. So if this thing falls, it won't break. Shouldn't break. Okay, got that done. So I'll show you what I mean. So it can now hang like that instead of having a hook attached to it that always wants to break off. This way it just kind of stays. And we're going to grab it here. Yeah, Prince Rupert's drops are kind of dangerous. When they blow up, you got little glass shards flying everywhere. And if you get one of those in your eye, I feel sorry for you. All right, one gherkin done. One gherkin down. How long have I been doing this for? 31 years. 31 awesome years. Let's pull this out because I do not need all that in there right now. Yeah, it's been awesome 31 years so far. No regrets. Okay, what else is on my agenda here? Well, I am just about completely caught up. We got to do a peppermint swirl ornament, but I am like 90% caught up. Happy. So we're going to make a candy ornament. But have I ever made one? Prince Rupert? Yeah, Prince Rupert drops are stupidly easy. So easy a caveman could do it. But it's not a matter of can you do it, should you do it? That is the question. It's not a matter of can you, it's should you. And the answer to that is, unless you have a controlled environment, the answer would be no. It's a bad idea. There. All right, now we got to seal this off. Does the glass have? No, there is no smell in the glass. It's actually super clean. The only thing that ever smelled in here is my dog Luna would come in and let one rip, and then it was bad. Luna had a gift. She could definitely let it rip. But she would just come in here, let it rip, and leave. I think that was fun for her. I think in secret she was laughing her butt off. Melissa, thank you for the jewels. All right, let's get this peppermint swirl done. Here we go. First thing we're going to do is stripe white. So while I got a few people on here, I've been really tossing the idea of playing music in the background and no music in the background around. I played music for a while, and then I've stopped for a while. So with this type of content, do you prefer to have a little background music or no music and more environment? Like listening to the torch sounds, the water sounds, the crackle. Because streaming isn't just for me, it's for all of you too. So, no music? Like both? Okay. Lost power again? I know what that's like. You like the mix? No music? No music? Yeah, I run very, very lo-fi music if I do it. I like Pantera, but you're not going to hear it playing on my stream. The natural sound. I like the natural sound myself, but you know, again, the stream is designed around all of you, not me. Okay, so we have to add the red. I think yeah, we're going to do this one. The educational commentary. Yeah, I like talking about this, so we'll keep no music for a while. Maybe I'll do Music Wednesday or something. Create one day of music in background. All right, so we're adding the red color right now. This is the trippiest color I have. It is almost transparent, but once it goes in the kiln and sits there for a while, the red comes to life. The other fun little aspect that if you want to see something trippy, notice how I'm applying the color here. I'm not going up and down the flame, drawing it from here down. This is going through the flame. The object itself is moving. So the best way I can phrase it or equate it to is if I gave you a pen and paper and said, write your name, you would leave the pen stationary and you would move the paper to write your name. I find that the best way to apply this color. It doesn't mean it's the only way or the absolute correct way. It's just the way that works very well for me. Because the flame is colder here, this is your hot spot. So if I leave it in the hot spot, it keeps the same burn ratio consistent. If I try pulling from here, it's slow, goes fast, and then back to slow. Nope, I have not made that and not going to. No bongs, no dongs. Not going to happen. From my perspective, that's why I got the Ray-Bans. In fact, we'll do a little recording. Hey, Meta. Oh, did I turn them off? I turned them off. Yeah, so that's why I got the Ray-Bans, so I can record from my perspective. Yeah, this is a striking color. Yep, they're definitely trippy. All right, here we go. We're going to spin and win. Spin for the win. And there we go. Then we got the little spiral. The amount of propane. Yeah, I like the natural sounds, but yeah, no bongs, no dongs. I don't have a problem with either industry. I just have kids watching on here, so we don't do that. All right, let's get this thing rolling. Oh, I forgot to kick on my outer flame. Damn it. It's nice to have that little bit of extra flame every once in a while. We are making a peppermint swirl ornament. And I need a suntan. So this is giving me my vitamin D right now. A little ultraviolet. Okay, so we got this shrinking down. We're going to blow it out. Should have a little nice spiral to the end of it. And we're going to blow a little hole into it so it can breathe and finish it off. Put a little hook on it. Got about another 3 minutes left on it. Give or take a few seconds. Unless something catastrophically goes wrong, which is possible. There we go. So we got to look. Now the red will come into play later. I want to learn this. Where should I start? There's a really good resource on Facebook. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but there's a really good resource on there with a group called Torch Talk, like Torch Talk. Join that. There's a plethora of information on there just to get you started. And there's some good books out there, but most of the books are outdated. You know, like one of the books behind me says you should have asbestos for your tabletop. I would say that's a little outdated. Probably not the best advice right now. I think you burned all the hair off your head. That troll is like a 1.5 out of 10. That's not a very good troll. You could do better. I have confidence in you. I think you could do better than that. All right, here we go. Watching from New Zealand. Well, welcome in. I'm happy to have you. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful evening. Might be, is it morning in New Zealand or afternoon? Propane and oxygen. I have the ultimate propane accessory. So all right, we're spinning this off. I think tomorrow we're going to be making some dragonflies too. I think tomorrow we're going to make some dragonflies. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. I like Ozzy. What's wrong with Ozzy? I miss Ozzy already. So some YouTuber who made the same thing, and I suggested them. They used it. I don't know what that means, but that seems like a problem with another YouTuber. Yeah, we'll do Dragonfly. I'm going to mix it up a little bit tomorrow. Are the glass rods expensive? The clear is not so expensive. The color, yes. The color glass averages about $35 to $40 a pound, but it can run all the way up to $150 a pound. That's where it gets really expensive. Yeah, at $150 a pound, you kind of have to take back and go, okay, I got to make sure it's all good. What happened to my hairline? I'm not giving you that troll that much. My God, you could do better trolling than that. Come on, I have confidence in you. You could do better troll. Be a better troll. Be the troll. You can't do it right, don't do it at all. Okay, we're going to create the hook. And, well, there's the tweezers. So it's kind of like a loop and swoop right there. And we just bring it down. Hopefully it's straight. There we go. I nailed it right there. I know, the trolls are weak. They need to go to troll school or something. I seriously, in high school, there was a class on how to make fun of each other. It was called Trippin'. There was an actual high school course on how to make fun of people. It was called Trippin'. It was right by the smoking section. I didn't smoke, never have, but yeah, it was right next to the smoking section, if that'll give you an idea. All right, now that will eventually have red come in it. The mom's making my hot pocket. Yeah, that's no kidding. I agree with you there. All right, it is 12:12 my time. It is time for me to actually go finish up some orders. I got a lot of packing to do tonight. Still, the job doesn't end. We have to pack everything up that we sell. I will be on tomorrow and every day. We're going to be rocking this channel. So first and foremost, even to the trolls, I thank you for being a part of it. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me. It does make a huge difference in my life, and it makes everything much more enjoyable. So I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you subscribe. We earned a subscription, and you all will come back and hang out with me sometime. All right? You guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe.